All right guys, so we're back with Sam's D41 Frontier. We've got our Recon bumper nicely installed, but we are ready to upgrade this to the Assault bumper. So first thing we're gonna do is show you how to mark your cut, and then we'll start cutting. So to mark our cut, we've got a section of 1-inch masking tape. And I guess before we get started, it's important, I mentioned this earlier, but to, be patient. We can always take more material off, but we can't add material back. So I'm gonna mark a 1-inch line going following the bottom contour of this fog light and up and on to the fender over here. And then I'm gonna cut about an 1/8 inch to a 1/4 inch below that so that we have a little bit of material to remove after, we make our cut. And we're just gonna sand that up and kind of inch until it's a perfect fit. I guess I'll go ahead and take, like I said, this is 1-inch wide masking tape. I'm just gonna follow it right along the bottom edge of the fog light. I'm gonna come pretty much straight across. It's gonna overlap onto this hole a little bit where the fender flare snaps in, and that is okay. And then we'll trim the fender flare separately once we've got this cut and we got it fitting right. So we can get our line on the bottom edge here. Obviously the tape's not sitting flat just yet, so I'm just gonna split this. And I'm gonna follow it straight along there. So, nice. Split that. Just go straight across that. Straight across there. And then this is gonna be this bottom edge is gonna be the line that we follow for our cut. So we'll do that with the body saw, a little air saw. It should go nice and smooth. So we'll do the same thing on the other side. We'll mark our cut and then we'll pull the bumper off and cut it. All right, so we got our cut lines marked, and now we're ready to go ahead and pull the bumper off. We'll set that aside, attach the wings to the sides so that we can make our cuts and start test fitting things. So go ahead and remove the bumper. All right, so we'll put this. So since we're gonna be taking the bumper on and off a bunch of times as we're test fitting, I'm also gonna take some tape and put it over where the bumper meets the fender, just so we don't scratch up the fender. So I'll show you guys that real quick. Certainly this is not a cut line, just to keep from scratching up the fender. So. All right, so the next thing we're gonna do is go ahead and bolt the wings up to the bumper so that we have, have them there when we make our cut and we can start test fitting. To do that, the wings are gonna have hardware kit. So just gonna be nuts and bolts, and those bolt right up to the side of the bumper. Let's start with 2 for now, and I'll grab the rest. This is gonna meet up right here. Doesn't really matter which direction your bolt comes from. I'm gonna do it from probably from the inside out. Reach in there. I know that's hard to see, but all I'm doing is just threading the nut onto the bolt by hand, just so I can have this resting there. And then I'm gonna come back with a socket and wrench and tighten this up. That's resting there. Grab the other 2 bolts and then tighten those up. So we're ready to tighten up the nut and bolts holding the wing section on. I've got a 13 millimeter socket and 17 millimeter wrench. Just gonna go through, tighten all those up. Same thing on this side. I'm just gonna start all the nuts and bolts by hand. Then I'll come back and tighten them up in just a minute. Cool. Scoop forward. To keep from scratching the bumper up, we're just gonna put down garbage bag, tape it to the floor. Got a big fan, so it might blow away, but tape should help with that. And that should keep us from scratching the bumper when we chop it to pieces. So, should be good. We gotta take the fog light out real quick. That should be nice and easy. Just 3 10 mils on the back over here. So this guy, and then this guy. Oh, it's already loose. One more down here. So we've got our fog light out and we're gonna put this back in, once we're done cutting. But we do have on the bumper here, these mounting holes. And what these allow you to do, these sit right where the fog light would go. If you want to swap in some 2-inch light pods, you can probably fit 2, maybe 3, just right on these slots and have those poke out. You have to shim it up depending on the size of your light, but that's an option if you don't want to put these back in. Just pulling the fog light out on this side as well. Hardware right here, same bolts, just mirrored. So we're ready to cut. Like I said, you can leave a little bit of material, maybe an 1/8 inch to a 1/4 inch, and sand off a little bit at a time. We're pretty confident in our cut right now, so I'm just gonna follow this line exactly and we'll line it up. 2 layers there, so make sure I go through both of them. Sometimes when this plastic gets hot, it can glue itself back together. I might have to separate it a little bit. Oh, gotcha. So we'll have to flip that around and get it from the inside. Alright, getting close. The blade wasn't quite deep enough to get through both layers on the other side, so we're just gonna flip it around and comb it from the inside. In there. We're almost there. Yep, there it is. So, go ahead and trim up the bottom section of this as well. Sweet. We can check and see how that looks before we do the other side. Just real quick, we're just gonna check, see how that cut turned out. Yeah, that looks good. Sweet. So we'll pull back off and do the other side. This is 2 layers, so we just got to separate that last little bit where the saw didn't punch through and make sure I don't mess up the cut on the other side, but it should be there. Yeah. Oh, there we go. Okay, so we just got to cut that last little bit right there. Let's see. Yeah, that plastic just sticks back together, so I'm just gonna work the saw back through here, follow the same cut line, and then see if I can get that last little bit. Nice. So now bumper is nice and cut. We're gonna test fit the other side, make sure it turned out nice, and then we're gonna clean that up with some sandpaper, make it look all pretty. So we'll go ahead and test fit it. How are we looking? Might actually have to take some more off over here. Like we said before, you can always take more off, but can't add it back. So we're very, very close. It wants to go on, except for in one little spot we got to take a little bit more material off. So. Alright, I think that'll probably be enough. And don't need this anymore, so I'll clean up this edge right here. Sweet. Still. Oh, that's nice. Yeah, I guess we'll just clean it up. So, we're gonna pull it off one more time. This time we're gonna sand it, put it back on for good. So. All right, so our cut went over the edge of the bottom fog light, which is no big deal. Still got 2 bolts holding it in there, and then if we need to, we can reinforce it off of that surface there. So what I'm gonna do is just make a quick little cut right there and bolt the fog lights back in. So we're gonna put this on, see how it looks, and we'll get to cutting the fender flares, and it should be just about done. Sweet. Take this and we'll go size it up to the truck and figure out about where we, ow, really hurt. So we're gonna cut right there. Sweet. That looks good. Before I actually snap this in, I'm gonna peel the tape off on this side. Actually, before I snap this in, I'm just gonna go ahead and do the other side. Cool. Hopefully the last cut of the day here. Cool. All right, see you, baby. Well, that looks right, so we can go ahead and peel the tape off. So we've got our fender flares back installed and we're ready to put everything back together. So that's gonna be fender liners and the grille, and then we'll show you what it looks like. So you can see the fender liner is now a little bit too long, so I'm actually just going to cut a straight line from here to there, where it sits in just a couple minutes. Sweet. All right, grill's going back on. And we'll grab the little tray. So you can see here, we've got Sam's Recon bumper upgraded to the full assault package. So got a lot more clearance at the wheels, a lot more aggressive look, and we're super happy with how it turned out. So if you want an assault bumper for your D41 Frontier, check it out at zeonoffroad.com. Let's see. That's not going anywhere.